Hi, I just want to share with you this quick tutorial how to make the cloth pads. As you can see, they're very easy to make. They're economical in the long run if you make it yourself, because then you don't have to buy monthly disposable pads, which can also contain harmful chemicals that will maybe you're allergic to or make you itchy or uncomfortable. Also, you don't have that annoying plastic gluey noise. They are also very easy to clean and maintain. You can just, like, after you use it, you just run it through fresh water, just scrub it a little bit, put it in a bucket with OxyClean, leave it a day or so, and then throw it in the washing machine after you've rinsed it. The water again before put it in the machine, and they will come out clean. I recommend the brand name OxyClean because I did use the other OxyClean and it kind of wash out the fabric a little bit, like made it lighter. But if you use the brand name, the colors of the fabric will keep vivid. No stains so far, knock on wood. But if you do this, if you wash it, put it in the bucket a day, and then rinse it again and put it in the washer, you won't have no problem with stains, or at least I haven't had any problems with stains. So they're super comfortable. You can barely feel them when you're on your period. At least I can, and I feel more comfortable too. Plus, you save a lot of money when you make it yourself, because they're kind of expensive online. But I will try to put some websites where you can find them online if you wish to buy them online. And other people, also my sister-in-law, which was the one that introduced me to cloth pad, she also have a channel that you can check out for more information. And there's others YouTubers, and I'll leave the link on the description. So that's it, let's get started. So these are the materials we are going to need to make the cloth pads. For the bottom layer, we're going to need materials that are resistant or waterproof to liquids, like these ones. Also, we need an absorbent layer like this one. We have sorb and terry, cotton terry. This one we have PUL and fleece. And the top layer will be cotton, regular cotton, but there's other ones as well. Okay, here we got terry, which is like cotton terry, like the towels are made of, and it's an absorbent layer. You can find it in your home if you want to recycle some of your towels. Here we have sorb, which is designed like for diapers, and it's an absorbent layer as well, and it's pretty thin. And this absorbent layer go in the middle like a sandwich between the top and bottom layer. And here we have the PUL. It have like plastic inside. It's waterproof, and you can use this, and it's very soft outside because it's fabric, regular fabric outside. And here we got polyester fleece, and it's water resistant. And some people prefer one or the other, but I'll prefer PUL. PUL is more expensive than fleece, but it's very effective, and you can find it in the fabric store under the diaper area section. We're going to need thread, bobbins, and needles if you're going to do it by hand, measuring tape, ruler, washable marker, preferable than permanent, pencil, also a bamboo stick or chopstick. You can use either one to turn the fabric around after you finish sewing the pad. You're also going to need a pin holder, a thing that will break the stitches. I don't know how it's called. Also snap tools to put the snap, or plastic snap. You can also use buttons if you don't have these ones. I found those in Amazon. They're not expensive. I don't remember the price. I'll put it later on the description. Also, we're going to need paper to draw our patterns, and also cardboard. You can also use a cardboard or a plastic placemat, which is more durable, and you can also do your patterns with that. This idea of using a placemat, I took it from my sister-in-law. She used a transparent one, and I will leave the link around here so you can see where she got it and where she explained where she got it. Also, we want to need a disposable pad so you can trace it and make your own pattern. So we start by opening the disposable pad, and we just peel it out with the paper because you don't want it to stick on the paper that you're tracing the pattern. So we get it all out, then we're going to cut through the wings because we don't want the sticky part neither in our pattern, so we just cut through it because we need to trace the wings. So now we're just going to put it on the paper and we're going to start tracing. Remember, just use a disposable pad that you already feel comfortable with. In that way your cloth pad will feel comfortable for you. Now we're going to start by tracing the disposable pad all around. Well, not all around because we're going to do only a fourth of it. We extend the wing all the way to the edge because we want the wing larger. And now I'm going to mark here where the absorbent layer is going to be. Then I'm going to make sure it's in the middle so I can now fold my paper in fourth. In that way the pattern will be the same on the top and the bottom on both sides. And here you fold it, make sure everything is straight, and after this you can go ahead and cut it, but you got to remember that you have to allow for seam allowance. Now this here, the gosset, needs to be around 2.5 inches. That's kind of like a standard size, but since it's a half, it needs to be here like 1.25, but as you can see it's too big, so 1.25 is about here. And after I do this, I have to adjust my pattern so the gosset is the right size. Now we're going to do the wings, and we have to do the wings longer because as you can see here, the wings do not touch and we need the wings to overlap so we can put the snap or the button on it. So now we're going to measure from the gosset because the wing will come around from that gosset mark that we did already, and we're going to do it. So I don't want it to get right here in the corner because I want it to be a little bit square at the end. I don't want it a pointy side, and I'll measure about 1/4 of an inch in there, and then I'll trace a diagonal line from the point where I want the end to the point where the gosset starts. And from there I will do a seam allowance a little bit to the top. That will be, the seam allowance will be around 1/4 of an inch. So here is 1/4 of an inch distance from where I want it to be, and then I'll do like a slanted line or curvy line because I kind of want it to be a little bit flare. So just use your creativity, whatever you think it will work out for you, and then I kind of make it flat there towards the top, and we pretty much got it covered, right? So this should work out very good. You can also do it straight, and you can just do it like that and make it like a straight pad, but let's do a curvy for this project. And now we just erase all the lines and darken a little bit the lines that we're going to use in here, and because that one was too light, and we're going to get ready to cut our pattern. And now we're just going to cut around this line here. So now it's already cut out, and you unfold it. You can also trace it into a harder surface, so you can trace it into your fabric. The gusset needs to be around 2.5 inches, and now we're going to do the center, but first we're going to fold our paper in fourths. So we fold it once and then we fold it again, and we're going to measure the gusset in the paper, and since it's half, it has to be 1.25. So we're going to make a mark in different parts so we can make a straight line. So first do it with a pencil. We mark 1 1/4, which is right here. We go a little bit higher and mark 1 1/4 inches again. And now we want to trace a straight line with our ruler, and we can curve the top in a little bit. So here's the straight line. Okay, so now I'm going to make a mark here. It's around of 1/4 of an inch, so you have some allowance for the sewing of the topper and the bottom part layer. And now we're going to make a curvy line from that point to the side of the middle layer. So this is one, you can improve it and make it more nice or nicer. Now you can also make a curvy line here at this point, so you just make a little curve. That's up to you. You can just do it straight if you wish to do so. And now you just cut your pattern. Well, here we just have both patterns cut out, and if you want it, you can trace it on a harder surface like I said before, like a placemat, and then you cut that one out. So the first thing, after you cut out your pattern made from a disposable pad, you get the fabric, you trace it, you cut it. These are the absorbency layer, and you will cut it with this pattern. The bottom layer, which is the waterproof or water resistant layer, cut out with the same pattern that you cut your toppers that are right here. See? So the bottom layer and the top layer are cut with the same pattern, and then the absorbency layer, which you're going to cut double the amount that you cut the toppers, because you need 2 layers. If you want to put layers, you can go ahead and do so. So after you cut your very cool topper, you just turn it around and you take 2 of the absorbency layers. You can put more if you want to use. 1 will be light absorbency. If you put 2, it will be regular absorbency, and 3 or more will be around heavy absorbency. Okay, so here you center it, then you put the pins right here and in here, and then you're going to be sewing around all the borders. So now let me put this over here. I have a couple done because these are for a gift. So I have done half this print and half this print. Okay, so now we're going to be sewing all around the edge of the absorbency layer. Okay, the first thing that we need is to change the stitch. So I'm just going to change it to zigzag, and I'm going to put it about 3 is okay. In here, I'll put it in 5. And I'm trying it out because I usually use other settings, so I need to check how this one looks. And I think that looks good enough. It looks good enough in the back, so that's good enough for me. I'm going to start by aligning the edge of the absorbency layer with the edge of the foot. We just put it here, and I'm going to take out my first pin and put it in my little pin holder, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to start. I start in a place that is practically straight. Okay, so let's go. And you go back and you keep going. And for the curves, it's good to go slow so you do the curves good. And then you can take the pin out. Be careful with your fingers. Okay. Put the needle down. Lift up a little bit and turn. Make sure the wings are not stuck. Wings out of the way. And now, reinforce. Cut out there. And this is how it looks. Okay, so here I already attached the absorbent layer, which is sturdy. The top layer is cotton, and the bottom layer or waterproof layer is PUL. And now I'm going to attach the PUL, the bottom layer, to the rest of the pad. How I'm going to do this? So we have yellow in here, so I wanted to do the bottom part yellow, right? Front and front. And I have the red one here because I want it to be matching. There. And then we do this one like this, okay? So let's begin. We're going to pin. Try to do at the edge. So at first I'm going to do the main point so I can line it up like this. Here, there, here, and here. So as you can see, that's pretty much it, right? You're going to sew it from this side, and then when you turn it around, before I keep going, you need to leave an opening. I like to leave my openings by the wing. So I'm going to finish doing this, and after I'm done with this, I'll show you how to sew it. Okay, so I already attached all the PUL to the top layer. As you can see here, we got 5 and 5. For the other ones, I just did 4 pins, which is easier, and I know I'm going to be careful so it won't slide. But if you need more pins, you can go ahead, but remember, be careful not to do the center. If you pin the center by mistake, just iron it by this part so the hole will seal with the heat. So let's get sewing. Okay, so here it was in zigzag, and I'm going to change it to straight stitch. I'll leave it on 3, and the top can stay on 5. And I'm going to be using the red one because I was last doing the marbles pads, and then we were doing the yellow one with the DC, or actually just Superman, because I don't see any other superhero there. So let's start with the marble ones. I think that's the Avengers ones actually. Remember, put your pins on the cotton side, and that way it'll be easier when you're sewing, because it's easier to sew on this side, at least for me, than on this side. Okay, so I'm going to start here on the wing. Maybe I should give you a close-up. So here's your close-up. We start here. I'm going to put, actually I'm going to start a little bit back there, and I can go ahead and take off this one, this pin here, and it's important to do reinforcement here because this is where the hole will be. Now I'll turn around because it's straight, so and turn around, make sure you're getting both. So here we're getting close to what we're going to leave the hole, but we turn around and do a little bit lining here so it be stronger. And then go back and go back, and that's good. See, and then we have a hole where we want to turn our fabric around, and I'll show you that in a little bit after I finish with the rest of this. Okay, before I keep going, well, the patty was not super center, but you can see here it wasn't, well, it was pretty okay, I guess. The curve here was when I have a little trouble because I went too fast, but if you go slow, see, the curve will be much better. Okay, so I finished attaching both layers together. Okay, so in here we're just going to make a cut closer. Let's do this. And those are the cuts that you need to do. And now you turn it. Now after you have this like this, you need to push it like this. Have to pull this out a little bit more, but more or less like this. Okay, so I finished already ironing. What I did after I turned it around, I just iron this side like that, and iron this side, and this part here where we want to be sewing, I just did it like this. So these are all done, and I did the same thing with this one here, as you can tell. And now I'm just going to do I want to sew it all around the edge. Okay, I'm going to start here where I left the opening, and I'm going to align it. And this time I'm going to use this edge, and the needle is to this side. Okay, so I align it real quick. I'm going to start here. I don't want it to be too inside because I want it kind of close to the edge, so it will close this hole in here. Okay, that's good, and we'll start now. We do reinforcement. To put the snap, the first thing we're going to do is fold the wings and overlap them, and when we have them in the right place, we're going to take the tool that will make a hole, which is this tool here. Be careful with your fingers because you don't want to pinch your fingers, and we just make a hole, make sure it go all the way through. And now we get our snaps. We get the one that had the pointy one, we get it from the top to the bottom, and then we get this snap that had the little thing sticking out, and there's another one that have the hole, so you get to choose a pair, one that is have the thing sticking out and the one with the hole, and you put it on top of the pointy thing of the snap. Wow. Then you press it with the tool. Make sure it's in the right place. And there's a little part on the bottom of the tool where the snap will sit. And then you press it. And this is how it looks. And see? And then you double check where you're going to put it. So now the other snap will go from the bottom to the top. So the pointed thing will go from the bottom to the top. Make sure it goes all the way through. So you can put the other snap which have the hole in it. Make sure you put it in right. And then you put it in that little spot where it sits. And then you press down. And this is pretty much it. And how you put your snap. You check that they close okay. And that's it. That's how you put your snap. This is how they look after finish them up and do the stitching all around and putting the snaps in here. I just chose the snaps so they coordinate with the colors of the pads. And these are pretty much the same of the other ones. And that's pretty much it. I hope you like this quick tutorial. And remember, if you like, press like. If you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe so you know when there's more coming in. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video. It'll be till the next one. Ciao.